Welcome to Land of the Bible. I'm David Sussman, your personal tour guide here in the land of Israel. And in today's episode, we're going to learn about Maktesh Ramon. We will explore its crater by jeep and learn about its geology and its humble beginnings as a mining town to its development as one of Israel's most pristine national parks. Maktesh Ramon is located in Mitzpe Ramon, which is a small city in the Negev desert. Mitzpe Ramon had humble beginnings back in the 1950s as a small mining town with several mines located in the Maktesh itself. What is a Maktesh? Well, first of all, a Maktesh is a Hebrew word for mortar, as in mortar and pestle. You see, a Maktesh is a naturally formed crater due to erosion eroding the inside of a mountain. So what we are looking at here is a mountain that has been completely hollowed out. There are many activities to do here in Mitzpe Ramon. People come from all over the world to enjoy its natural wonders by hiking it, cycling it, and even camping down in it. Today, we are going to discover the Maktesh by jeep and even go rappelling. But first, let's go to the visitor center. The visitor center here in Mitzpe Ramon is dedicated after Ilan Ramon, who was Israel's first astronaut. He wasn't just Israel's first astronaut. He was born into a family of Holocaust survivors with deep Zionistic values. This led him to join the IDF and the ranks of the Air Force. He graduated the Air Force Academy with top marks and became a pilot. He fought in various wars, and in 1981, he was part of a mission that bombed the nuclear reactor that Saddam Hussein was building. And I think we can thank him and the other pilots for that mission. He trained with NASA in 1998 to become Israel's first astronaut, and in 2003, he went into outer space with the Columbia Space Shuttle mission. He conducted experiments pertaining to the dust storms here in the Middle East. He brought with him pieces of Judaica and Israeli culture. Unfortunately, when the Columbia Space Shuttle re-entered our atmosphere, it disintegrated, killing him and the other 6 astronauts you see behind me. The first section of the visitor center here is dedicated to the life and legacy of Ilan Ramon. It has multimedia presentations and beautiful views of the Maktesh. Let's now enter the museum. The first section of the museum is a multimedia presentation about the life and legacy of Ilan Ramon. This second part has to do with how the Maktesh, the crater here, was formed. Let's go see the museum. The section of the Visitors Museum about the geology of Maktesh Ramon has several exhibits, the largest of which is a multimedia presentation about the formation of the crater. Others include how fossils are formed and how some of the volcanoes that are extinct today were formed long ago. There's two exhibits I'd like to highlight that really describe how the crater came to be. Let's take a look at them. In the model over here, we can see several layers of sedimentary rock formation. The bottom layers were formed over 200 million years ago. The top layer is limestone, which was formed nearly 100 million years ago. Then, around 90 million years ago, there was an earthquake that formed a large mountain. It was still covered by an ocean, but as the ocean began to recede, an island appeared, and the waves crashed on the island, eroding away that top layer of limestone, revealing the sandstone within. Let's now move over to the other model to figure out how it formed. The second model brings us to a period of time where the oceans had completely receded. What was left was a mountain in the area that will become known as the Negev Desert. The rains came and slowly but surely removed all of the sandstone from inside the mountain, creating Maktesh Ramon. Let's head out to the Maktesh and check out some of the activities offered in the area.
There are moments in life that define you and leave you forever transformed. Like a once-in-a-lifetime journey to the source of your faith. Walk in the steps of Jesus and experience history beyond its words. Sail the ancient Sea of Galilee to the holy shores of the River Jordan. Your journey begins here.
One of the great activities to do here in Mitzpe Ramon is to go rappelling off the side of the cliffs of the crater itself. I'm here with Adam Sella, who runs a company here for tourists, families, groups of any sizes to go rappelling here. And this site isn't just for tourists. Even the Army uses this location to train their soldiers in search and rescue operations. So I'm excited to get started with just a rope and Adam's expertise saving me from certain death. Let's get started. This is incredible, leaning over the crater like this, hanging on for dear life to this rope and looking hundreds of feet down. Let's go. Adam, thanks so much. That was really incredible. Folks, that was awesome. If you're looking to do something in Mitzpe Ramon that's gonna get your adrenaline rushing, then rappelling is the thing to do. Let's now head out of Mitzpe Ramon and see what's in the surrounding areas. We're now joined by Moshe Zeidman of Ramon Tours. Moshe, thank you for joining us today.
Welcome, thank you very much.
Tell us a little bit about your outfit, about Ramon Tours.
All right, so we are now in the Ramon crater, Maktesh Ramon, and Ramon Tours is a small company that activates in Mitzpe Ramon for the last 15 years. We are experts of taking you out and showing you the desert. We can take you by jeep, we can take you hiking to very beautiful places. If you like to stay overnight, we can make a very nice camp for you, put your tents and make you a very nice meal out in the desert. And apart from this, we have Ramon Tours is by people that live in the desert. So this is the best way to know the desert is by people that live down here in the desert.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yes, it is.
So the Jeep tour is your most popular activity. Why is that?
Because once you drive in a Jeep with us, you have a chance to get to many, many beautiful places down in the crater that you don't have a chance to get there with your regular car. And beside that, when you drive with us, with the people that live here, and we drive many, many years down in the crater, we can show you the beautiful places, and we can tell you stories, and even you might learn something, you know, about the geology of the desert, of the crater, about biology, a little bit history of this area.
Incredible.
Yes.
Is there a little something you can tell us about where we're standing right now?
Of course, down here, this is the Ramon riverbed. This is the lowest point in the crater, where all the water that falls from the sky, from the rain, down to the crater, everything goes down here and it goes out of the crater. And this is the best place to begin our tour, because from here, the water, the erosion water, is what made everything that we see around here.
Sounds awesome. Let's get started.
Let's go.
All right,
Please.
thanks. Wow, Moshe, thanks for driving so well to get us on top of this mountain overlooking the entire Maktesh. It's really beautiful. I mean, it's unbelievable. It all looks so different. Can you tell us a little bit about the composition of the crater?
Of course. As you know, the crater used to be a very, very high mountain. And that mountain became empty. So practically this is an empty mountain. The center of the mountain used to be soft sand, you know, sandstone. The surrounding, the cliff, is made of limestone. Limestone is very hard rock. That contrast between hard rock and soft rock, this is the main reason why we have the crater down here. As the sand was being washed out, it revealed to us things that were buried under the sand. For example, that black, beautiful mountain.
Just over there.
Yes, it used to be an active volcano more than 100 million years ago, before the crater existed.
Wow, that is incredible.
Yes.
Is there something here in the Maktesh, like a geological wonder you can bring us to get a close look at?
Of course, definitely. The next point we're going to stop, we're going to show you a very special and beautiful place down here in the crater.
Fantastic. Let's check it out.
All right, so let's go.
There are moments in life that define you and leave you forever transformed. Like a once-in-a-lifetime journey to the source of your faith. Walk in the steps of Jesus and experience history beyond its words. Sail the ancient Sea of Galilee to the holy shores of the River Jordan. Your journey begins here.
Moshe, you brought us to another unbelievable place. Tell our viewers exactly what we're looking at back here.
Okay, what we're seeing right here is called the dike. This is a very interesting geological phenomenon. As you know, all the sedimentary rocks are made in horizontal layers, okay? This is the horizontal layers we see here. This is sedimentary rocks. Later on in the history, for some reason, a crack was made crossing the horizontal layers, and the magma flow that was going close to the surface was squeezed into the crack and slowly began to cool down. Later on, that magma that was inside the vertical crack became a rock, a solid rock, that is going across the sedimentary rocks that are always horizontal.
Wow, incredible. It definitely left something behind that looks amazing.
Very beautiful, very special. And the crack, if the crack would have gone higher, probably we would have an eruption, like a real volcano.
Similar to the one we saw before.
Exactly. Because the crack stopped in one point, this is the maximum height where the magma reached.
Wow, incredible. And, coming here, do you find fossils?
Of course, since all this area used to be the bottom of the ocean for some period, very, very long time ago, it is very common to find fossils in this area. For example, ammonites. Ammonites, it's a very ancient animal that used to live here, and different kind of snails and shells, and even we can find the shark teeth.
Wow,
here.
Unbelievable to think
Yes.
that this desert at one time was under an ocean.
Was under the ocean.
Moshe, we really appreciate all your explanations today.
My pleasure, my
Let's
pleasure.
head back to the city, shall we?
Great, let's go. My
All right.
pleasure. Bye-bye.
South of the city is a site of great national importance. It's the desert home of David Ben-Gurion, our first prime minister. David Ben-Gurion had a love affair with the Negev desert. It began in 1935 during his first trip to the southern region, where he saw this great wide open land, and he envisioned 5 million Jews living here, 3 million in industry, another 2 million in agriculture. This vision was reinforced on his second trip in 1940, this time with Bible in hand, reading the stories that took place here thousands of years ago that our great-great-grandparents took part in.
אנו מכריזים בזאת על הקמת מדינה יהודית בארץ ישראל. היא מדינת ישראל.
Fast forward several years later, the year's 1948, David Ben-Gurion in the city of Tel Aviv, in front of hundreds of people, announces to the world that the land of Israel is once again independent, and it should be known as the Jewish state of Israel. He serves as the first prime minister from 1948 until 1953. During this time, he is occupied with the War of Independence and figuring out how to settle all of the new returnees to their homeland. The population tripled during this time. However, on his third trip to the southern region, he passes by a community known as Sde Boker that was originally settled by 3 Jewish cowboys from the state of Texas in the United States. When he saw this community, he immediately stopped his caravan. He wanted to speak to these young men and women who were living here. He said, "What are you doing here in the middle of the Negev?" Their response to the prime minister was, "We fought here in the War of Independence, and we now choose to live here." Ben-Gurion was awestruck. When he returned to Jerusalem, he immediately wrote a letter to the kibbutz members stating that he himself wanted to join their community. He was shocked to find out that they said no. They said, "We don't want you. You're the prime minister. You'll bring too much attention to our small community." However, he insisted. He promised that he would partake in all of the kibbutz activities, including cleaning the stalls, milking the goats, cleaning and cooking in the kitchen. They finally acquiesced, and he retired as prime minister and moved here to Sde Boker. However, in 1955, trouble rose again, and he was called back to duty, where he sat as defense minister and prime minister for another 8 years. Then, in 1963, he retired from government completely and returned to his desert home here in Sde Boker, where he spent the remaining 10 years of his life. David Ben-Gurion died in 1973, and he left a will that stated that he wanted his desert home here in Sde Boker to be left as it is and open to the public, so that people can come here and learn about his legacy and his dream of populating the Negev. Let's visit his home now.
There are moments in life that define you and leave you forever transformed. Like a once-in-a-lifetime journey to the source of your faith. Walk in the steps of Jesus and experience history beyond its words. Sail the ancient Sea of Galilee to the holy shores of the River Jordan. Your journey begins here.
If you want to learn facts about someone, then read a history book. But if you want to learn about who they really were, visit their home. By visiting David Ben-Gurion's home, you realize what a humble man he was. He may have been one of the most important Jewish men of the 20th century, and yet his desert home is a simple 2-bedroom house. When most people visit here, they're first struck by the fact that his wife Paula and David had 2 separate bedrooms. Why is this? Well, David Ben-Gurion hated sleep. He saw it as being a nuisance and a waste of time. He only slept 3 to 4 hours a night. He would get up periodically and answer letters, read books, and even write his own books. But when you look around the house, you see what was really important to him: Judaism and Israel, from the menorah to the map of Israel. There are several gifts here that were given to him by various dignitaries who would visit him here in Sde Boker. Who were the people he admired? Abraham Lincoln, Moses, Mahatma Gandhi, all leaders who liberated their people. Let's now move into his study. The largest room in the house was his study, where he had over 5,000 books. He had another 22,000 books in his house in Tel Aviv, and he knew them all. These books were written in 9 different languages. That's right, he read, wrote, and spoke 9 different languages. But his favorite book of them all was the Bible. He saw it as a historical document of the Jewish people. He even had Bible study classes here once a month with fellow scholars. Aside from David Ben-Gurion's home, the site includes several buildings that feature multimedia presentations, including a movie about leadership, as well as an interactive exhibit about the life and legacy of David Ben-Gurion. One of my favorite places here in Mitzpe Ramon is a unique restaurant called Pangea. The owner serves dishes from Europe, Asia, and here in the Middle East, such as Irish shepherd's pie, dim sum, kebab, pretty much anything you can think of. The restaurant is divided into 3 sections: the main dining hall, a banquet hall that can fit 150 people, and a magical olive garden outside. It also boasts a state-of-the-art sound system and multimedia presentation capabilities. So whatever the group size or function, Pangea can host you. But my favorite dish is the salmon. Thank you. Stay tuned as we continue. I'm here with Nadav Silbert of Biteva, which is a company that offers night excursions into the Maktesh and the entire Negev. They specialize in astronomy with over 15 professional-grade telescopes. The one behind Nadav can magnify up to 800 times. But that's not what makes the telescope special. What makes it special is its ability to collect light. Nadav and I are going to go hang out by the bonfire. Wait till it gets darker when the stars really come out. And then we're going to see the sky in a way you can only experience in a place like this. It's about 10 o'clock at night. It's pitch black except for the light of the moon, and the stars are abundant. Nadav here is focusing on the moon, and we're about to take a look. Thank you. Oh my goodness. That's incredible, Nadav. You can see all the craters and crevices and mountains of the moon. Wow, that is beautiful. Tell me, Nadav, Can you focus in on one of the planets, let's say Jupiter?
Gladly.
Wow, that is incredible. You could see Jupiter and 3 of its moons. You could even see the rings of Saturn. Nadav, thank you so much for that experience.
Great pleasure. Thank you.
Let's go have another cup of tea.
Of course, sure.
Join us next time on Land of the Bible as we visit Israel's most iconic location, the Western Wall in Jerusalem's Old City. We will explore the Western Wall tunnels by going underneath the Muslim quarter, as well as visiting the Southern Wall excavations and walking along the Herodian Street constructed 2,000 years ago, where pilgrims visiting the temple would have walked. What an amazing day it has been touring around Mitzpeh Ramon and its beautiful crater. Remember, I'm David Sussman, your personal tour guide here in the land of Israel. Make sure to tune in next time as we connect you to the people, places, and lands of the Bible.